This lady wants to know, is this a joke? I've been a housewife for 5 years. I'm not feminine and definitely not submissive. Also, I have a very nice woman who cleans for me twice a week.
Ma'am, you're not a housewife. You're a roommate. You got somebody. What? If you stay home and you don't work, why can't you clean your own house? Like, ma'am, you're a liability, not an asset. No.
For you chicks, because women confuse this very often. They talk about the fact that men have all the power, men make all the money, men are in charge, and we oppress women. Let me make something very clear to you.
Okay.
Firstly, you're confusing 1% of men with all men. The majority of men have no money, no power, no sex from their wife,
Facts.
no fucking chance in court. They can't even keep their house. They won't get to see their kids, and they don't. So most men, their life sucks.
Okay.
That's the first thing. The second thing, when a man gets up at 4 in the morning to go carry garbage to earn a good wage, he ain't thinking, I'm gonna do this so I can oppress that bitch because she's broke. He's doing it thinking, so I can provide for my family, so my woman can stay at home and raise my kids and have nice nails while I'm out here carrying trash. You go to a coal mine, those dudes are not down there thinking about oppressing women. They're down there thinking about providing for women.
Okay.
Now, I'm not saying that there's not bad apples, but in general, us men are prepared to take on more bullshit to protect you than you would possibly believe. And in the modern world, they've spun that. Feminism spun that. Men make all the money. You women need more money because men make the money and men are in charge and men have the good jobs. Men are out here giving up their fucking life.
I think people be sleeping on the fact that it's actually hard being a boyfriend. Boyfriend, husband, whatever you want to call it. Because not only you got to make sure you straight, but you got to make sure your girl straight. You got to make sure she's straight mentally, physically, emotionally, and sexually. Not to mention the fact that you got to be as loyal as your girl wants you to be. Especially if you dating a woman that's been a whole in high school in the same city as you, because we already know how that shit go. That's mutual friends, that's been traumatized, that's been in an abusive relationship, that has hella dating experience, fucking hella sexual experience. The list goes on and on. You know us men, we prideful, so you gotta exceed all them expectations that you put in your head because she been through so much shit or she have hella experience. And you can't be insecure. And if you insecure, you gotta keep that shit to yourself. And you can't express your emotions too much. That shit crazy.
Okay, Allie, show me your ring.
Oh, here.
Now, tell me what you do for a living.
Oh, I love my husband.
And how did you get that awesome job?
Well, I became a better human being, and I became feminine and also shocking, submissive. So that was the secret.
So what are your tips to women that want to be a housewife?
To embrace it. It's an actual job. You just can't get it in the public or private sector. Like, you need a man to hire you for it, but that's okay. Because if you think about it, you submit to your boss who makes you clean stupid shelves at your retail job, right? Like, wouldn't it be better if you were cleaning your own shelves at home? You know what I mean?
Why do modern women have more of a problem submitting to a husband than they do submitting to an employer?
What was the question?
In other words, why do women think they are free when they serve their employers, but slaves when they serve their husband and children?
Because the employers give us money. Our husbands give us headaches.
So men don't give you money? I thought men were providers.
They are, but I know for sure I'm going to get paid on the 1st and 15th. I don't know with him.
Allie, what do you say to the women that say, my husband isn't my boss. There is no need to be submissive. You're a team.
I understand where they're coming from, but these same women don't understand that oftentimes they'll put their husbands on the back burner for like an actual boss in real life that they have to submit to. And they constantly ask their husbands to modify their lives for that. Meanwhile, the dude is forgotten. He's absolutely sexless, and she's feeding him out of the microwave. That's the problem. If you can work and love your man equally, you want to talk about equalism, right? If you can do that, then good. But most women can't. Most women can't even push the power button on an air fryer.
Y'all want to see some fucked up shit? Watch this. Domestic violence. Accept none of his excuses. Man. Don't make excuses for him yelling. But check this out. I'm gonna change this out to wife and watch this. First off, try talking with her about her yelling and how it makes you feel. Be sure to listen to her part of the story too. That doesn't have much effect but your spouse is more or less cooperative, try marriage counseling. Perhaps you're not going to see any domestic violence at all. Just counseling. That's wild. Make sure you guys.
Women, black women in particular, need to lay off of that strong thing. That's a trap. Because when you say words like strong black woman, it makes us superhuman. And it makes people think, oh, we can conquer anything. You want to be strong, but that can't be your label.
KAL HALAL YAHAWAH BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI This is our digital epistle to the 12 tribes of Israel. That will honor to the elders and apostles that you met, and all the other elders who've been laboring in likewise doctrine, and any honor to any brother labor person likewise doctrine, and any other brothers just believing, and likewise doctrine, because that you that's true, man. We all gotta speak the same thing, but Mm. Yeah, especially like in these days, because man, we could feel the kingdom, man. We could smell the kingdom, we could taste the kingdom. Yeah. Proverbs 31:3 Give not thy strength unto women, nor thy ways that destroy kings, man. And that ways that doesn't destroy that kings is that more eastern way, People tell you that with the old world is in the western hemisphere, but how specific is the Bible to, the east, the east, the east.
Sometimes in the West, we like to ignore that there are differences between men and women, but I feel like here in Korea, people understand that there are differences.
Wow.
And it doesn't mean that one is better than the other, but they don't demonize any characteristics that are inherently masculine or feminine. Society is not saying you must have traditional gender roles, but if you want to do that, people don't seem to demonize you, where I feel like sometimes in the West now, I mean, I was like that. Like, I remember when I was in high school about to go to college, I had a friend and all she wanted to do was just get married and have kids. And she had a lot of kids, so she did that right out of high school, and I remember kind of judging her like, ew, why would you do that? You have no ambition.
Active. Title of today's video, What Being Married in Korea Taught Me. How not to screw up your marriage. This content today comes from content creator Megan Moon, who has almost 1 million subscribers. Now, she's an American-born citizen now living in Korea, and we've encroached on this topic previously on the channel, the idea of the difference between the ideologies of Western women and Eastern women. So I think it'll be interesting to go over from her perspective. Without further ado.
So as we know, Korea is very different from my home country of the USA.
True.
And through marriage, I've also learned a little bit more about some differences that we have in the way that we view relationships and the way that we go about them, etc. So I thought I would talk today about some things that I learned from being married here in Korea. The very first thing that I learned was that marriage is duty. And it's quite different from like kind of what we see like in the Hollywood and in media and stuff. And I feel like kind of our view of marriage like in America is a bit more romanticized. It's like this romantical kind of Disney kind of fairy tale type thing that we like view with marriage. I feel like sometimes we lose a lot of the duty. And a lot of people in marriage just think about, the things that they want to get. Like, I want to get married so I can get this and I can get that and I can have love and happiness and stuff like that. And there was in a lot of Asian countries, like they view marriage as duty. Of course, people love each other like when they get married, but there's more of an aspect on the things that you need to contribute and things that you need to do in the relationship to keep it afloat. And I noticed when people think of marriage here, they think less about, okay, what am I going to be getting? Like, give to me, and there's less of this sort of entitled feeling for what you think you should be getting in marriage.
Yeah, and that's the way that destroys kings, man. Mm. And if he have betrothed her unto his sons, he shall deal with her after the manner of daughters. Exodus 21:10. If he take him another wife, her food, her raiment, her duty in marriage, he shall not diminish, man. And that marriage is duty, man. The food, part of the duty, the raiment, the clothing, the duty in marriage, man. Which literally means her duty in marriage, like her cohabitation, the conjugal rights, um, sexual cohabitation, duty in marriage, man. Even though sex is a duty, man. You know. So the Bible says. I can remember this verse right. 1 Corinthians, 7:5, defraud not one the other, except if it be with consent, that that ye may not give yourself, that ye may give yourself to fasting and prayer, and come together again, that Satan tempt you not for your incontinence. See, so that's duty of marriage, That satisfies your duty of marriage, and I understand as a man, you're not married, but a lot of times, women be kind of taking advantage of doing whatever they could hide it from you. Like you should be whatever's in your physical ability, and the biblical times for it, is what's owed to your spouse, man and woman, That's why it's the duty of marriage. And if you don't give it to them without a consensual time for fasting and prayer, so you don't either husband or wife push another to commit adultery. That's your right,
Tend to focus on how they can make it work and the things that they need to do within that marriage. And one thing,
Yo, that is so many good points. Sorry for yelling. But I'm into this video, you know what I'm saying? But like, there's so many good points there, right? It's like, when you focus on the duty word, right? You think of job, you think of work, something that you have to do, something that you bring your skill sets into doing, something that you train for, right? That like you can maybe get a certification for, you get education from, right? You get teachings from someone or somebody, and you implement that into yourself, and you bring that to a proverbial table. Duty, not all this, I am the table bullshit that you hear so often over here. But it's like the idea of, you getting a job somewhere and then you walking in, and every day that you walk into the door, it's all about what the job can do for you. No, like you are here to contribute. You contribute here for the things that were set up when you signed up for this job. And because you do good job in doing your job, then this relationship with this company can continue into the future. But if you come in just every day, like, oh no, I'm just gonna kick my goddamn feet up and get fat. You know what I'm saying? Like, we can't continue this. You know what I'm saying? Let's move on.
that I notice is instead of people getting their happiness from what they're getting, like I'm happy when my partner's just doing this for me, or when I'm getting this love, or when I'm getting the things I feel like I'm entitled to get, is people feel more happiness in knowing that they fulfilled their duty in marriage.
What's going on, guys?
This isn't easy to say. Your mother and I think you're hooked on phonics.
I think that's something that's actually really nice because you can't really control what other people do, right? You can't control, like, if someone's going to do something for you that day, but you can control the things that you're doing. And I think when your happiness comes from a sense of fulfillment for doing the things that you're supposed to do to keep the marriage running, then I feel like that leads to much longer happiness as opposed to just what can I get, what can I get, what can I get. So let's compare.
It's like purpose as well, right? Like it's the same thing. What she's talking about, again, transition that to what you do in your lives outside of your relationship, your purpose. You get a lot of fulfillment and joy out of what you can contribute to society, right? Your usefulness, your utility, right? And then that then transitions or translates into happiness and purpose and fulfillment within yourself. Same thing is when you get into a together mindset with someone, switching it of what that person can do for you and unto what can you contribute that will fulfill also your purpose, because that fulfillment in someone else is going to make you more internally happy. But that right there is completely flipped when you just pander to people and you tell them that they are the prize. It's completely flipped.
Like marriage to like a business or something, right? So for a business to run well, the employee should always be doing their job. Like Paul said,
I like her.
You know what? You can just work when you feel like it. If everyone only worked when they felt like it instead of what you have to do every day, then the business might not go so well. And so I feel like with marriage it's similar. Like you don't always feel like doing things that you're supposed to do all the time, but that's just kind of part of it. And this is just a very light example. It's the only thing that just kind of popped into my head right now. But this is not something that Moon said, I need you to get me my coffee every day. But it's just kind of something that I like to do in the morning is to make Mr. Moon coffee.
Shout out to Webull for sponsoring today's video. Webull is a free stock trading application that I personally use to manage my investments. Open up an account and make a deposit of any amount and get 2 free stocks worth up to $2,300. And you get $5 of free crypto and get free money.
That I'm getting up to get him his cafe latte, even if I want to be sleeping in, it makes him happy too. It makes him want to keep doing things, for me. So we just keep giving to each other and each other and each other, and we continue to like thrive in that way, right? It's not about what you want to do; it's what you have to do for the marriage. Because once you get married, it's the marriage. You do things for the marriage, right? Of course, you can still do things like for yourself, but if those things are undermining the marriage, then you probably shouldn't do it. And another thing that I noticed is those feelings of love tend to stay and continue to happen when both people are fulfilling their role and doing their duties in the marriage. Things work out that you put effort into. I don't know if that makes sense. I hope it did. Take from it what you want.
I appreciate what she's talking about because, like people, I get women that ask me, so why are you not in a relationship right now? Well, I got too many things cooking right now, baby. You know what I'm saying? Like, I got too many things because for me to take time off of the things that I'm doing right now to focus in a together mindset with someone else, like, will it come in the future? For sure. Of course. I've actually think about, should I do a dating on purpose? And then I think about, okay, well, taking some of those hours away to be in a together mindset. And it's just right now, I'm when it comes to my purpose, but,
Improving, like self-improving yourself. How redundant was that? So what I mean is, like, for example, I have friends who were engaged and they both said, wow, since I'm engaged, this person wants to marry me, I should be my best self. Let me start going to the gym and eating healthy so we can live a long, healthy life together and I can be like my fittest self because this person chose me, right? They're stuck with me. They can only be with me.
Rock with
so I need to always be my best self and remain healthy and fit, etc. As opposed to saying, well, we're married now, I have to go to the gym anymore.
Right.
Like, that's not what you really want to do, right? You want to always be trying to be, your best self and taking care of yourself and not just, for something like taking care of your body, but in terms of your personality and the things that you're learning and growing and maturing with as well. I know, like, for me, like, after I got married, it kind of was a push. It made me be like, wow, okay, well, someone chose me and this person's only going to be with me, so I need to do the best that I can to be, like, upgrading and improving myself. And that's
Amen. And tell that to a Babylonian woman, that's toxic, you know? If you can hand me a man worse, you don't give me my best. You know, I need a man who can handle me, strong enough for me. I need to be handled.
That my husband does a lot as well, and I've noticed a lot of people around me doing that as well, and it's something I think that is quite beautiful. And I think when you have two people who are constantly working on themselves and wanting to do their best and be their best, then that naturally keeps the relationship going as well. A lot of people here think of marriage as kind of like something we need to work at together. It's not something that either just matches or doesn't, right? Any good marriages that you've seen have a lot of work, and I feel like a lot of people tend to just kind of know that here. It's kind of something that's more in the culture. So the next thing that
Listen, I hate to keep bringing it back to the example of working, but it's the same thing from a working perspective. You don't just go into an establishment and just sit in the same role. Like as soon as you get the job, it's like, oh, well, all that education that I got before, there's no continuing education. I know everything that I know. I'm just going to do this job. No, that's not the goal. At least it wasn't for me. My goal was always to go up and up, that I went with different education, certifications, moving, networking, da-da-da. But it was time that I...
Ephesians 5:21. Submit yourselves one unto another in the fear of BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI. And wives, submit yourselves unto your husbands as unto the Lord. For the husband is the head of thy wife, even as Christ is the head of the church, and he is the Savior of our body. Therefore, as the church subject unto Christ, Mashiach, as the wives be to their own husbands in everything. You know, she's not even saying this by his first name. You know, husbands, love your wives, even as Christ loved the church. And Christ loves the church because we are obedient, man. If we aren't obedient, we can't love him. If these wives are obedient, Mr. Moon's not gonna love her. He loves her for her hard work and obedience, you know. And Yahushua loves us for our work, you know. You know that we put towards you know, put towards him, you know, the sacrifices. Therefore, as the church be subject unto Hamashiach, so let the wives be to their own husbands in everything. Husbands, love your wives even as Hamashiach loved the church, and give himself for he might be sanctified and cleansed it with the washing over the womb.
To improve on myself because I know I wanted the inevitable goal of...
That he might present it to himself as a glorious church, and not having spot or wrinkle or any such thing, but that it should be holy without blemish. So ought men to love their wives as their own body. And you gonna love a woman who put an effort, you gonna love her as your own self. He that loves his wife loves himself. If you hate your wife, you know, who put all this effort towards you, you know, you don't love her. You don't love yourself. For a man who For no man ever hated his own flesh, but nourished it and cherished it, even as the Lord the church.
Well, from an employment perspective, not just doing well or medium, but exceeding expectation. And I think it's the same thing from this perspective as well. What continuing education can you do, whether it be internal to your partner or external to shit happening around you, in order to make it better? Let's keep going.
Kind of learned to do here is I really learned to embrace the differences between men and women. I feel like sometimes in the West we like to ignore that there are differences between men and women, but I feel like here in Korea people understand that there are differences.
Wow.
And it doesn't mean that one is better than the other, but they don't demonize any characteristics that are inherently masculine or feminine. People allow for people to play to their strengths, especially in relationships, and I think that's something that's really nice.
So there's no feminism in Korea?
You're not necessarily bound to the expectations that people have of this is man and this is woman. Society is not saying you must have traditional gender roles, but if you want to do that, people don't seem to demonize you, where I feel like sometimes in the West now, I mean, I was like that. Like I remember when I was in high school about to go to college, I had a friend and all she wanted to do was just get married and have kids. And she wanted a lot of kids. So she did that right out of high school, and I remember kind of judging her like, ew, why would you do that? You have no ambition. So then I kind of like really stopped talking to her because I thought, oh my God, what is that? Why would you just want to do that and like live with a man who makes the money and do that? Like be independent, have some ambition and stuff. Like that was kind of how I used.
And she was really delusional. She stopped talking to her.
Think about women who wanted to do that, but one thing that Korea has taught me is that, you know, everyone like chooses what they want to do. If a woman wants to take on a traditional role and that's what she
That's what that feminism demon it really put on you. Really had her center. You 1 Corinthians 13:11. Even when I was a child, I spake as a child, I understood as a child, I thought as a child. But when I became a man, I put away childish things. You know, that's what she
do. And we shouldn't tell her she's wrong for wanting to do that.
Yeah.
You know, I think we should be able to choose what we want to do, and people shouldn't look down on people who want to do those traditional roles in that way. I used to be one of those people who looked down on women like that as I was going to college, getting my degree that I'm not using at all, in debt. Not anymore, but was in debt. She ain't got no debt, and she got like 4 kids, and she's happy. I see her on Instagram. So
no debt, happy. That girl in debt, unhappy. So he's shunning people. Some girls like that don't have as many friends, and they're happier. She's using the degree that she didn't use. Women initiate divorce 75 to 80% of the time. College, educated women initiate divorce 90. Make college make them unmarriageable.
And growing up too, like my parents were always like, yeah, be independent, do this, like don't depend on no man, don't need no man. And now that I'm married, I'm like, I needed him. Where have you been, Mr. Moon?
There it is.
Okay. Where have you been? Like, why didn't I meet you? No, if I had met him when I was 22,
You already?
he might not have liked me because Mr. Moon, my husband.
The great experiences you have in here
Likes to feel like needed, and at that time I was kind of like anti anything, like I don't need no help, no man. Mr. Moon loves like carrying things and like doing things and just being helpful. And I think in the past, like old Megan would have thought like, oh, it's because he thinks I can't do it. I can do pull-ups, weighted pull-ups, 20 pounds strapped to me. I can do a pull-up. I don't need you to carry my bags.
She was made for YouTube. she's extremely talented. All right, guys, I'll end the video right here. I'll leave a link to it down in the description box down below. Go over there, check out the remainder of this video as well as all the other dope videos on her channel. I think it was really important the way that she left that off, like in the idea that, her in her young, more independent mindset would have been ready for the values of her current husband. I think it's fascinating. I think it's very interesting, but I think it's even more fascinating that until she went over to another country and saw from a different perspective, that she was able to relinquish the bullshit that was taught to her right over here. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's good to see that ascension. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, I believe in the ideals of feminism when it comes to equality. Do whatever you want. You know what I'm saying? But just be accountable for the choices that you are making and how the opposite sex is going to look at you because of those choices, and not shame them for looking at you that particular way. Because at the end of the day, we can change and move and shape with modern times, but our biology is not going to change and shift at the same rate and degree. Okay? Men will still be men. Women will still be women on average. And if there's men and women that are acting outside of that, well, then they're outliers to the case or they're lying to themselves. Questions, comments, concerns? Y'all already know what to do. Me, tourismreviews@gmail.com. All right, this was a great one. I appreciate going over content like this, guys. Go. Active. Guys, listen up. Whatever you're doing, stop what you're doing right now. Sit down and pay attention. The information that we're about to go over in the remainder of this video may change your life. All right? Now, YouTube channel that we will be reviewing today is called Zoom to Thailand. Okay? It's created by a brother that was raised in the United States of America and now lives in Thailand. I want to say he's been there for maybe like a year or 2 years. Okay? And he is going over his current dating situation in Thailand. Now, oftentimes on the channel, well, not oftentimes, but a few times back on the channel, we have gone over the specific topic of the difference between Western-raised women with the ideologies of Westernized culture versus Eastern. Okay? Much more traditional roles and values and understanding of you, yourself, your manhood, your masculinity. And when we've gone over in the past, it's been from women.
Bro, and they'll tell you, the Israelites will tell you that the old world is in the Americas. Man, where is why is the West where all the debauchery is? East where the more the cultural organization is. It's clear.
The first time on the channel that we're getting the information from a brother. I'm gonna say this right now. I'm gonna call it before we even get started in the video, because by the end of this video, not only are you gonna be interested in getting your passport, but also you might reconsider your citizenship. Without further ado,
FBI. Even though I don't think I'll ever get married again, I have an FBI woman here in Thailand. Let me present the evidence. She's feminine, she's beautiful, and by the way she takes care of me, she inspires me every day.
Healthy. Look at that. Nice.
She lets me get my work done. She doesn't nag. She makes me breakfast every morning. And she can fry some chicken. Thais know how to fry.
Chicken looks amazing.
I even taught her how to make grits. She makes me grits in the morning. She's learning pancakes. She's a good cook. I mean, whatever I like or whatever makes me happy, that's what she does to keep me happy. And I do the same for her. She makes me dinner at night.
Hold up. Brother.
He might just be holding one for the elect. You don't know, man.
Brother, you struck gold. You taught her to make...
Man, that's just gonna be the standard nationwide in the kingdom, man. Gonna be no Israelite, no concubine straight from that standard, man.
Grits? Wait a minute. You guys gotta pick up on the mannerisms.
How to make grits.
Right? Watch this. I don't know if y'all saw it. I don't know if y'all saw the way that I saw it. Hold on.
She's learning pancakes.
Look at the pure adoration on her face. That is a smile. That is a feminine lady smile. Pure happiness. He taught her how to make the grits that are on his plate, and she's happy.
Good cook. I mean, whatever I like or whatever makes me happy, that's what she does to keep me happy. And I do the same for her.
Look at that look back. That's a fantastic look back. That's a look of pure and utter accomplishment through the satisfaction of her man. She don't nag either, my G. What? She lets you do your work? What? Oh, God. I was born in the wrong country.
She makes me dinner at night if we...
Shane Hudella will fight against inflation and put more money in your pocket by cutting taxes and eliminating wasteful government spending. Shane Hudella, fighting for Minnesota families.
I'm breaking up with coffee. Big Coffee lied to me. I was proud.
Well, she brings me TV.
You don't even know if it was a Democrat or Republican, man. The Democrats, man, they hide it, man. They don't even want to buy and associated with her.
When she goes to bed, you know.
Tea before bed.
Walking it out. I knew it. We walking it out. Say, walk it out. Yeah. She used to go golf because she saw it was something I enjoyed doing. I told her Tiger Woods was half black and half Thai, and she lost her mind.
She took up something that you enjoyed doing too, my G. What? Yo. Let me just keep going. Y'all probably like, shut up and play the video.
Sometimes I think she likes golfing better than me. All right, this is what we do. We golfing in the house. Show him, Doodle. Let me see you hit the golf ball. Show him that you know how to golf. Don't break a window, all right?
Good form. Nice. Good form. Fantastic form.
That's how you golf with the big old leg?
She's mega feminine. This is just so incredible to me.
Imagine, man. Like women, are talented, at like the educational system and administration. Imagine if you got all that. Man, if you ever had met a girl you were attracted to its intelligence, imagine, that dedicated student, you got that dedication into her being, instead of that being given to the white man, to his slave indoctrination infrastructure that was given to you. Mr. Husband, these niggas don't want this, man. These niggas, niggas be, such say shit, but these niggas be, getting action from not from their girl. And these niggas will tell you, no, I think having multiple women too much, man. You already smashing other chicks in your relationship. So you tripping, beat your ass, man. This is the type of righteous way that niggas do not want. It's terrible. It's sad.
That like, this is just like, you live on Earth and you have a certain perception of Earth and the people around you and the things that you see. And then through the beauty and the power of the internet, you get to see how someone else lives on literally the other side of the planet. You know what's also so crazy about this? I didn't say this in the beginning of the video, but I've been to Thailand. I've been to Thailand for a 2-week trip. And the thing is like, all the things that he's talking about is what I saw. But the thing was, is that I was in a tourist area. I was in Phuket. Well, I started off in Bangkok and then ended up in Phuket. And whole story. Anyway, was in Phuket. And the ways that the women were treating me, but I was in a tourist destination. So, but to see a brother who's actually living in Pattaya, not in the tourist area, but in the actual residential city, and this is who he's currently in a relationship, who he's currently dating, and for him to be older in age and to talk about him moving to over here, and this is his current daily inspiration, right? Like, he would take a bullet for her, flat out. So we talk all this shit about protecting this, that, and the third. That's worthy. that is worthy, right? To be in a a together mindset with somebody. A man will take a assault rifle bullet to protect that. Because she treats him like gold.
The men would die for that, as Yahweh died for the church. But this is not what these women want to be.
Two-party street. So oftentimes, when the question is arise, it's like as a man, I know I have to provide, I have to protect. This is a bump in the night. I know that it's my job, my duty, and all these different types of things. I have to provide all the security, and then I also have to be the breadwinner. And then modern men today are asking, well, what's in it for me? And you get someone who is divorced, moved across the country, across the world, and is maintaining a happy life elsewhere. Look at the family photo. Yo, he restarted life. This is like you playing a video game, right? And then you get like midway in the game and you just realize you took like that wrong choice. You know what I'm saying? You took like that wrong pathway, right? So then you just, you just reset the game, you go back a couple of saves, and then you just redo it a different way. It's like he's just redoing it a different way. I'm so intrigued. I want them to start like a relationship vlog. You know what I'm saying? I'm curious. I want to see how this thing matures. All right?
Yeah, whoever findeth a wife, and we know what is a wife, man. It's a wife. Middle English with a woman, a female lady, not especially white, woman. Okay, so what's a woman? So a woman goes into adult, human female, woman, wife, literally. Oh, there, I'm so literally altering wife, man. A woman, a female servant, man. So that's a female servant. So a man who finds it. So whoever findeth a wife findeth a female servant, findeth a good thing, and obtaineth favor with the Lord, man. So when you have a female servant, when you have a woman obedient to you, will help me in the way that the Lord made it to, it's find a good thing. That's fair for the Lord. He's a favorite, if you're not in the truth, man. He a favorite 230,
Oh, you missed the whole damn ball.
The form was trash. All right, back to the drawing board. Tricked me with that first one. That's a clean crib, too.
She plays the Oculus Quest with me.
Oh, hell no.
Dropping it like it's hot.
Oh, hell no.
It, ducking.
Yo, I got my Oculus Quest over there. No lie. 2 weeks ago, I put the Oculus Quest on this young lady that came over, and she's like, "Oh, get this shit off of me."
She's not stop smiling. She's fulfilled.
I'm like, she playing video games with you too, my G? You just hear the joy in his voice.
She's down for trying just about anything with me.
Wow.
Including taking a dip in the pool. There you go. Being a domestic.
You can just hear the joy in his voice. Ecclesiastes 36:24. He that getteth a wife, a female servant, beginneth a possession, a help, like unto himself a pillar of rest, man. See? You see how happy he is? He rested up, man. He not tired. Man, and it's like onto him. She adopted everything he liked. She wasn't putting that VR before him. Not golf before him, but she just.
It's normal for her. I take care of the bills, she takes care of the house. That's the kind of world I want to live in. Let me give you another example. As I'm editing, she'll see my fingernails are dirty and start cutting my nails. I can't make this up. I'm up here trying to edit Zoom to Thailand Part 2, Thailand versus Philippines. And this one, she got to do this while I'm working. See, this is why it takes me so long to get my episodes done. You finished? You said it out? That's what I'll take it. To some American women, this is a bad or weak thing. Not to her, and definitely not to me. This is my version of FBI. And when I take her out, she looks beautiful for me. And she already has beautiful.
I'm looking for one of you to take the mantle of leadership. It shall be I who leads.
Skin, sometimes she curls it up to give her that biracial look. I'm not saying all women in Thailand are like this, but I'm saying when you're dating a woman in her 30s, it's a good chance this is what you're gonna get.
Yo, so she curls up her hair because I wonder if he talks to her regarding kind of what he's used to seeing, like what he likes, and then she acquiesces to his preference. Holy shit! I just did a video not too long ago, and rain came in.
Isaiah 14. For the Lord Yahweh will have mercy on Jacob and Yaakov, yet and so Israel and yet will choose Israel Yahshua and set them in their own land, and strangers shall join unto them. You know, those are the Israelite foreigners. They they shall cleave unto the house of Jacob, and the people shall take to them, and they bring to their place to the house of Israel shall and the house of Israel shall possess them in the land of Yahweh for servants and handmaids, and they shall take them captives whose captives they were, and they shall rule over their present man. And man, I'll tell you, we only gotta do it the Eve gene, man. We gotta go into this word handmaids, maid servant, slave girl, maid servant belonging to a mistress, a dress speaker, concubine. Yes, we're gonna have heathen concubines in the kingdom, man. Love the Israelite one, but we also gonna get it, man. Even with a concubine of the master, they don't get that.
We were talking about women that change their hair color and how I think it's egregious within a relationship to just go all out and just, this is my truth. I'm like, y'all in a together mindset. Like, I need to have my own opinion about things that are going on because I want to be able to look at you and still be attracted to it. And meanwhile, over here, it's just like they have a discussion about something and then she gets it done. I mean, obviously, so what's the trade-offs here? The trade-off is that she probably don't pay for a goddamn thing. But honestly, if you have someone that is trying to help meet you where you are at, right? Like, this is added value. Like when you think about, like when I ask the questions, you know what I'm saying? Like within a marriage, like how does it really benefit a man? But take that same question that I ask and then now re-ask it with this example. Not the modern example, the Western example, with this example. The other thing is, too, is that the exchange rate over there is so much different, so I guess money goes a lot further. So there's...
And it may feel like, man, we can't have this right now. Matthew, except for the lucky brothers, in the truth, who are the elect, and they're dealing with the elect women, Or some, 2/3 who's with the elect woman, he's just a placeholder. The elect woman, she's just in her righteous role, holding it down until if that brother's a 2/3, or if he's not, until he becomes the 2/3, the brother remove him and give that woman onto a brother in faith. Matthew 19:29. And everyone that hath forsaken houses, or brethren, or sister, or father, or mother, or wives, or children, or lands, for my name's sake, shall receive 100-fold and shall inherit everlasting life. That's 100-fold. Oh, why? So what this man have? We gonna have that 100-fold for everything. The 100-fold of houses and riches.
A lot more probably average earning men here that can then go over there and then live, and be able to support more than one person on an average salary. I'm just floored, guys. You know what I mean? Let's just keep going.
Like my man Skylar says, I'm waiting for somebody in the chat room that's been here to tell me I'm lying.
Yeah, I saw it too.
My partner in crime.
I saw it too when I was over there.
My friend, my trans.
And let me also say this: they love black guys. They love black guys. All right, let me just say that. You know what I'm saying? The thing is that in the pictures and shit, you usually really only see white guys over there. But let me tell you, when I was over there, man, they loved you, boy. But again, I was in the tourist section, so I'm just like, okay, well, this is probably not in the, you know what I'm saying, in the region. It's just in the tourist section. They treat you like that because they're trying to extract funds from you. You know what I'm saying? But she cut his nails while he was editing. Yo, my daily upload videos, I'm sorry, guys, they're gonna have to be like every other day, every 3 days, because your boy would be busy. You know what I'm saying? Let's keep it going. Yeah, I'd be busy.
Later, my right hand here in Thailand. And the craziest part of it all, the women outnumber the men here, it seems like 40 to 1. Thai women love black men. I'm gonna do an episode on that as well.
I also want you guys to pick up on something of all the women that were shown within this. Was any disrespecting the BMI? Was did you see any? And the same thing when I went over there as well. It's like everyone has form and shape because they eat. You can see the things that she was cooking him, right? Managing his waistline, probably helping improving his waistline after coming over from the greasiness of America, right? They eat a lot different out there. They eat less out there. They're also littler people as well from like a height perspective. But anyway, let's keep going.
Look at it down, people. Look at it down. You like this color? My down. Down means black in Thai.
What was that about?
And after she saw those ladies and saw it like that color, guess what she did?
No, she
right
didn't.
out and laid out and got dark.
She didn't tan herself.
My girl. Join the family, y'all. I'm gonna keep bringing you quality videos, but I need you to support the channel by.
You saw you looking at that dark skin girl. She ain't sure she's gonna let me off. That's kingdom, man. That nigga got a kingdom of her. You know, it's still nothing. If you don't have your how watch and y'all trying to go get burned, man, he might as well live it up. That's how fair the Lord is, man. He's letting this man turn up, at least he repentant to the truth. You know? And maybe that woman, man, she may be giving on to her brother, man. She gotta be giving on to her brother. Man, you know, she might get burnt up too, but you know, or she'll get another judgment, but you know, she's gonna be giving on to her brother, man. She might make it into the kingdom. You know, she might be a concubine and make it into the kingdom.
By subscribing and comment to let me know how I'm doing or any suggestions you might have.
You're doing amazing, my G. Go follow him.
I don't understand how people be hating on people for having passports.
Is that
but if you really want to hate, you can hate on me.
I like it.
I want to thank Skylar and Think Smart Financials.
Listen. I'm gonna stop it right there. Like, I don't know what else to say. You know what I'm saying? Fantastic video. Again, zoom to Thailand. I'll leave a link to this down in the description box down below. Guys, go over there, follow him, look at all of his videos, and learn. Get yourself up out of the mindset of, this is my city, this is my block, and I'm not going to go anywhere else. I'm not leaving my state. I'm not getting... The earth is so magnificently large. It's so magnificently big. It's massive. It's absolutely massive. You have to get out of where you are at so you can increase your knowledge, so you can increase the things that you know about the world. One of the most important decisions that you will make in your life is who you decide, if you decide, to allow into your life. And the thing is, it's like, there are women that are within the United States, right, or Western countries, wherever you guys are at, that have mindset like this. Maybe like this degree. This seems extra traditional to me. But at the same time, if that's what you need or that's what you want in your life, to not put it on your bucket list, right, of someday, eventually, if it's not now, if it's a decade from then, if it's 2 decades from then, if it's not just to visit and enjoy yourself on vacation, then maybe it's to take up citizenship. Questions, comments, concerns. Gotta already know what to do. Mediocre tourism reviews at gmail.com. Here's the thing. That's the last thing I'll say about this. There's probably going to be a lot of modern women that will hate this video. Okay? And this is my message to y'all. You right now feel some type of way about this video because you know they exhibit a better option for a man. Information and knowledge is power. Giving men information and knowledge that other options exist shouldn't piss you off unless you aren't the best option. Until next time, YouTube. Peace!
I forget the verse.
You acting like a wife if you ain't one.
Oh, they're gonna be mad. They're gonna be mad. What did you fold in my clothes? They're gonna be mad. Oh my God. Damn, you damn near have them in the color court? Wow. I know a lot of people are mad about this.
I use my relationship as an example because I've been in a long-term relationship and there's just some things I don't do. Things I consider to be duties a wife would do.
And by the way, she takes care of me. She inspires me every day.
And like the guy said, man, the women who hate this, who hate this type of video, like a whore. If you hate that video, you're a whore. You're a disrespectful woman. Like as a whore and be a right and honest and virtuous woman, you're a whore. If you don't have a problem, then you should be offended.
Oh, why he ain't? He must not. He. Baby, where in y'all mind do y'all believe that marriage is solely up to the man? If anything. If anything, it's my decision. Trust me, a man knows when you want to marry his ass. And let's be clear, I've never been one of those women who walk around the world looking for a man or a husband. Getting married is not even in my top 3. It's barely making my top 5.
Being a domestic partner is normal for her. I take care of the bills, she takes care of the house. That's the kind of world I want to live in.
I don't want to hear, oh, why men always have to pay. Because women are the prize. I'm not going half. I'm not tipping. I'm not, oh, my turn. I'm not your girlfriend, okay? McDonald's don't suffice for me no more. I'm grown. I'm grown!
This is my partner in crime, my lover, my friend, my translator, my right hand here in Thailand. And the craziest part of it all, the women outnumber the men here, it seems like 40 to 1.
Getting married is not even in my top 3. It's barely making my top 5.
Man, we're even in a time so wicked, man, that the Lord will even say to women, you know, if you could hold off on marriage and just serve the Lord, it's better, man. That's what type of time it is, you know. At least wait until you get to find a righteous brother, you know. But look at these women, man. They just been using their grace to just right cock, you know, be independent and go against the order of the Lord. 1 Timothy 5:14. I will therefore that the young women marry, bear children, and guide the house, and give men occasion to speak, and give men occasion to the adversary to speak reproachfully. And look, man, the Thai women, you can't say nothing about it. You can't speak as you can't give put can't speak reproachfully on her, but the other one you can.
But it is something I want one day. That day will be when I am where I want to be as my own woman.
What do the men you want from a woman?
In America, Essence.com, they posted this article, right, based on research from matchmakers, with the top 7 reasons as to why black men do not want to approach black women. The 7 reasons, some of them was, we don't seem as fun, right? We look like we can't be bothered. This is about black women, and black men think this. We don't offer enough support.
Even if you're toxic, even if you're wild, crazy, whatever.
And 1 Timothy 2:15, withstanding, she shall be saved in childbearing if she continue in faith, sobriety, and holiness. Or faith, if she continue in faith, charity, and holiness with sobriety, man. You see that from the Thai girl, not from these Israelites. Man, the whole head is sick.
The right now, we like show you the way.
No, because he make me feel like, how old is you? Like, grow up.
Oh, he did you with
Yeah,
that.
he do that to me. It makes me be like, okay, let me, because I used to pack my shit up, like,
That's
fake
me.
booking a flight. Really never book a flight. Fake booking a flight, like how long I'm like, we don't offer enough support.
Let me give you another example. As I'm editing, she'll see my fingernails are dirty and start cutting my nails. I can't make this up.
We're more inhibited sexually, and men's friendliness is always misunderstood by black women, and we put too much pressure on black men. Wait a minute, are we saying if black women are really single, or the quality of guys that are out there are not necessarily?
All right, so I know y'all been asking me because I said it in my type, tap in on how to bag an 8-figure man. But let's start with step 1. Ladies, it all begins with the law of attraction.
See these witches, man, talking about law of attraction. They're witches, man. And I was talking about law of attraction. You know the law of really Christianity is law of attraction. I praise you. You give me big money house.
Lets me get my work done. She doesn't nag. She makes me breakfast every morning, and she can fry some chicken. Ties know how to fry. I even taught her how to make grits. She makes me grits in the morning. She's learning pancakes. She's a good cook. I mean, whatever I like or whatever makes me happy, that's what she does to keep me happy.
Active.
See how much the intro kicked in. That's how beautiful.
Guys, Richie Mack from Zoom to Thailand. I see you, my G. All right. Now, this particular video got an incredible reception, and truth be told, I didn't think it would get as dope as a reception as this. If you haven't seen it, go off and look for it. So I began to ask myself, where really deep-rooted is this reception coming from? And let me also add in as well, the reception was just not positive from men, but it was positive from women as well. Why? Because there was a lot of women that was down in there writing tips down of the things that they should be doing in order to secure a dude. But what really is it? Like, what is it about what was seen in that video that caused such a stir? And what I actually think that it is this independent, I'm a boss bae lifestyle within the modern woman today. The toxic boss bee has an incredible mountain to climb today, especially after the information and spheres like this has made it incredibly known to the men that have tolerated the bullshit for decades. Because what they have done is they have artificially implanted value into a system where there was no value to begin with. Sort of like if you enter a car dealership and you're looking at a hoopty, but the car dealer is gaslighting you to thinking it's the greatest product in the lot. But these toxic boss chicks, what they do is that they...
That's Babylon the Great, man. That's why the whore, it's really going on the whore of Babylon, to the whore of Babylon, America. And that's why, man, there's a way it's artificial value, man. That's what people will judge you, man. But we've really gone on to the way that's not valuable, and we went to the way that's the most valuable, and we're about to see the payoff. Jeremiah 6:16, thus saith the Lord, stand ye in the ways, and see, and ask for the old paths, ye, where is the, ask for the old paths, where is the good way, and walk therein. See? Where is the good way and walk therein? What's the good way? The old path. And walk therein, and ye shall find rest for their souls. But they say, we will not walk therein.
Leverage feminism as if it is a religion and construct it in this matrix of a society that the more masculine, the more independent, the more that they require of you, the more valuable that they are. They will throw out illogical, inconsistent messages to you to change and alter your perception of what actual value.
Jeremiah 44:19, and we have burned incense to the Queen of Heaven and poured out drink offerings unto her. Did we make her cakes to worship her and pour out drink offerings unto her? Without our men, man, that's that feminism.
Is such as.
So I gotta get this off my chest, I'm sorry. So y'all know in my last video I talked about not being a wife to your boyfriend. How it's levels to the shit. Be acting like a wife if you ain't one.
Oh, really? Because the basic minimum requirements for a man in a relationship is husband duties. Because the man is supposed to provide, protect, and provision. Meanwhile, they are not incentivized and don't have a clue on how to bring peace, inspiration, and then they create their ideas of beauty, wearing things on their body and doing things on the gram that is completely and utterly ridiculous.
Because this is just, like, I can't even believe this. Sometimes I wake up and I can't believe I look this girl. Come on now. So you've been thinking about getting surgery, you've been hesitant and stuff like that. Take this as a sign, because I'm telling you, it's gonna be so worth it. Hanging over my jeans is now in here. So people are like, oh my gosh, that's fake. When you transfer money from your checks to your savings, is that still your money? It is, right? So I'm technically still natural because it's all mine. You know, it's got moved. All right. But not only has surgery just really helped me, you know, financially, my confidence has boosted. Like, I look exactly how I always imagined myself looking. Like, shout out to Dr.
And modern men today, which have been indoctrinated into what is considered normal in Western society, take a look at a much more traditional culture and their mouths begin to water. From a Western perspective, really the concept that modern men today are placing in their head is what cost more, a maid or a divorce? Because the equation is that any modern man today technically could get sex, could get maid duties and activities, man with resources provided to him. He might miss out on all of the femininity, right? Long-term, healthy, loving relationship. But if the majority of modern women today are on this boss B, boss chick status shit, they wouldn't have gotten it for long-term anyway.
Oh, they're gonna be mad. They're gonna be mad. What did you fold in my clothes? They're gonna be mad. Oh my God. Damn, you down there have them in the color court? Wow. I know.
She looking like Ilnana, so instead of doing things that will destroy her body, she's actually making one woman is just making herself irreplaceable. How could this man ever?
A lot of people are mad about this.
Another illogical inconsistency that's often pushed is this idea.
If you even go get you a submissive Jake, you know, she still has the aspiration to go be a boss. But, you know, if you get her from a foreign country, you know, she'll be submissive to you as long as she tells you other options. You know, so she's got, you know.
That men and women are equal.
Why he ain't? He must not. He. Baby, where in y'all mind do y'all believe that marriage is solely up to the man?
The Western perspective has become so distorted that these boss bays actually think that marriage is by and large not initiated by men. It's the man that gets on bended knee. It's the man that in general is making more money, so is setting up much more of his assets at risk and at stake. And men now today are increasing their knowledge of understanding the risk of them entering the family court system. So the question of it at its core is how many men that you consider valuable are getting down on bended knee and proposing to you? Not men that are in your inbox trying to get dates out of you or trying to get butt out of you. How many men are getting down and proposing to you? Because truth be told, is the type of man that would accept a ring from a woman is a low value, if not unknowledgeable man. Because why would he accept all of the risk without initiating that decision? Men determine marriage while women determine sex.
Bam. Burn her up.
And in the kingdom, men will determine marriage, and men will determine sex. You know, the father is going to set up the marriages. You know, we're going to make marriages, you know, kingdom. You know, bring families closer together.
We'll give y'all that one.
I don't want to hear, oh, why men always have to pay. Because women are the prize. I'm not going half. I'm not tipping. I'm not, oh, my turn. I'm not your girlfriend, okay? McDonald's don't suffice for me no more. I'm grown.
Women are the prize? Really? When will y'all get it into y'all feminist minds that prize is not a construct of gender? Prize is a construct of your utility within that other person's life. This, I am the prize because I reside in this gender, is some of the most cockamamie bullshit I have ever heard in my goddamn life. So when men look at the video of the young lady in Thailand, they are seeing someone who is a prize because she provides so much utility within a man's life. And in return, that man will jump over mountains in order to provide and protect 100% because they bring peace, understanding, and femininity every single day through high times and low times without skipping a beat.
What she do? She lets me get my work done. She doesn't nag. She makes me breakfast every morning, and she can fry some chicken. Ties know how to fry. I even taught her how to make grits. She makes me grits in the morning. She's learning pancakes. She's a good cook. I mean, whatever I like or whatever makes me happy, that's what she does to keep me happy.
When the complete bastardization or the simplification or the equality of gender roles becomes the norm in a particular culture, and specifically a first world culture, then the men get the shit end of the stick. The man-hating, the disrespect become norm within the culture. And in fact, women are conditioned to compete with men while disregarding their own feminine nature, their own feminine virtues. I don't got to deal with women who don't appreciate me, who don't appreciate men, as if my masculinity is inherently toxic and I can't flex my complete and utter masculine being for fear of getting shamed out of it or insulted out of it. For all the other men that have the opportunity to travel, go get y'all passports. My passport actually recently just ended, so I got to get a renewal right now. So actually just got mine expedited so I can get it even sooner. You know what I mean? Because your boy got to do some traveling, all right? Last point. For all of the women today that don't appreciate the modern bullshit that they have identified as toxic for them, not securing a man that they want, a man of value, y'all gotta begin to start speaking up against the bullshit as well. Because no more, ever, in the history of ever, has this shit erupted to the way that it is today. And I know that y'all see it, but the engineering of the sister code must be broken down. Sister Shahrazad Ali tried to do it 30 years ago, but she had uncountable amount of critics try to silence her. Let's try to re-engineer this today, and it's gonna take a lot more than one in order to be able to do it. Questions, comments, concerns? Y'all already know what to do. Me over to tourismreviews@gmail.com. Do y'all agree with me? Do y'all not? Leave it down in the comment box down below. This one should make for absolutely fruitful discussion. I'll see y'all soon. Until next time, YouTube. Peace!
Ecclesia, I think this is a good one to end it on. I pray that this lesson was edifying. Ecclesiastes 25:1. And in three things I was beautified and stood up, and both before Yahweh BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI and men, the unity of brethren, the love of neighbors, and a man and a wife that agree together. And those are all things that we have in the kingdom. KAL HALAL YAHAWAH. I pray that this lesson was edifying.